vincit, Christus regnat, Christus imperat.
Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever.
Дичушок Єсус Христушник.
Mindrike, amen.
Слава Ісусу Христу.
Slava noviki.
In today's Gospel reading, we see Peter and other disciples were astonished at the catch of fish which they had caught. Christ had sat in Peter's boat and was teaching the people. The disciples had worked very hard all night long, but they had caught nothing. And Peter, at the commandment of Jesus Christ, let down the net, and then God's blessings came. For they caught a great number of fish. Obedience to God's will is man's first and foremost duty. Second most important is to carry out His divine commandments. Man, through obedience to God, identifies himself with God and his will with God's divine will. Peter, at the greatest moment of his difficult hours of disappointing and depression, showed obedience to Jesus Christ. And the result is obvious. God blesses the work of all those who struggle with honestly. In our daily struggle to survive, there are some moments when we felt let down. Many times, despair and disillusion overcome our hearts. When we hope for some things that do not come right. How many times do we turn to God and do not see any results? Did God not hear our prayers? Is He, let's say, relaxing in His heavenly kingdom and does not care for all of us? Of course, no. The answer to these questions lies in that we must not only turn to God, but we must also learn to trust God. Peter not only accepted Christ in his fishing boat, but also showed absolute obedience to his commandment. And because of his obedience, God blessed his work. Now, how many times does it happen in our life that we accept Christ not in our boat, but in our hearts, but we are not obedient to Him? How many times when we see no results of divine intervention, we turn away from God? Today, Peter was blessed because he showed obedience. God's blessings came as a result of Peter's obedience to His will. This miracle came about because of Peter's faithfulness. We have to remember, Peter was a very good fisherman. He knew very well that there could be no fish in the shallow waters. He didn't say that we are wasting our time here. He just obeyed and trusted Jesus' word. Lack of faith is one of the main reasons why many Christians do not come to church on Sunday. Lack of faith is a spiritual illness of today's society. Lack of faith has as its result that we do not pray at home every day. Lack of faith is the reason why man does not believe in God and His teachings. Lack of faith is the reason why man turns to evil deeds and is disobedient to God's word. If we wish to have God's blessings in our homes, in our work, our lives, then we have to turn to Him, bow before Him, and trust ourselves to His divine providence. My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, today let us imitate Peter's example. Let us show trust and faith in Jesus Christ. Let us practice God's commandments. Let us be obedient to His divine will. This way of life will bring upon us God's blessings. This is a way for our salvation, to be before God and surrender ourselves to Him.